Am I the a-hole for not wanting my maid of honor's boyfriend at my wedding? Am I the a-hole for not wanting my maid of honor's boyfriend to see me get married? TW, miscarriage. Myself and my maid of honor have been best friends for around 6 years. She got into a relationship with her boyfriend about 3 years ago. He doesn't like me because every time they argue she comes to me and she stays with me and my fiancé. Around 3 years ago I had a party for my birthday. My best friend had just gotten with her boyfriend 10 days previous and insisted that I invited him. I told her she could bring him. When they came, they both sat in the corner for the entire night and didn't speak to anyone else, didn't dance and didn't even wish me a happy birthday. 2 years ago my best friend found out she was pregnant and he didn't want anything to do with it. He told her he was leaving if she carried on with the pregnancy. So I stepped up and helped her. I went to every doctor's appointment, paid for all her pregnancy vitamins, and bought her new clothes to fit her changing body. Through the stress of everything with her boyfriend, she miscarried and she had to be rushed to hospital. I was by her side through everything, stayed at the hospital with her, and bought everything she needed. When she woke from surgery, she thanked me for everything I'd done, and her boyfriend got angry. He said that I didn't do anything for her, and that I was a friend. I let it go, because I thought he was just angry and upset about everything that had happened. But even now he still tries to stop her from seeing me, and whenever she is with me, he is constantly messaging her, so we can't spend any time together, just us. We had spoken about his dislike for me, and she said that she wished things were different, but he is stuck in his opinion of me, and there's nothing I can do to change it. I have expressed to my maid of honor that I don't want her boyfriend at my wedding because I feel like something would happen to ruin my day, especially after seeing how they reacted on my birthday. Why would I want someone who doesn't like me to be there on my most special day? She doesn't understand why I don't want him there and has told me she's not coming to my wedding unless he's invited. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole, and she needs to wake up a bit. This relationship sounds extremely toxic. I wouldn't want him there in your shoes either. Why risk someone who hates you being at your wedding? This 100%. You didn't mention her family or other friends. Are you all she has? I know my family would chime in if I had a relationship that tainted my best friendship. The hardest part of this for you, honestly, is she's already made her choice and you need to face it. She's chosen to stay with him even through his cowardly, manipulative, disgusting and disrespectful behavior. You inviting him to the wedding will potentially ruin your wedding, and it will only delay the inevitable. She's already chosen. Save your wedding and yourself. May your marriage be a happy one. First off, not the a-hole. Second, you have two options. You need to have a talk with her about all of this, if you already haven't. If she can't see how this relationship is bad, then you need to go to the second option. Tell her you can't be friends because his dislike is causing you unneeded stress. But she is always welcome at your place when she need, and he is not even close to her. I would have done this right away. I did it already once. Man, I hated that guy, cause he was a manipulative, narcissistic bastard who only hurt her. I was straightforward and told her he is bad for her and that as long he's in the picture I won't be her friend. That I just can't bear looking at how much hurt he puts her through. She decided for him and I told her if she ever ends it, she is more than welcome at my house. That was a year ago and no word from her. It still makes me really sad, but I cannot make decisions for her or just watch not being able to help. Get a new maid of honor, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Boyfriend's an obvious R, but she doesn't sound like a good friend either. TF, you seem like a wonderful friend, and she's choosing her R toxic BF over a simple decision made by you about your wedding. Tell her okay, you'll be missed. Not the a-hole, and I don't understand how some people can look past how their significant others treat other people. Why would anyone want to be with someone who treats anyone, let alone someone they love, the way he treats you? Don't invite him. You shouldn't have to worry about being disrespected on any day, let alone one that's meant to be celebrating your happiness. If she doesn't want to come, that's fine, but she needs to let you know now, so you can choose another maid of honor. Honestly, I'd just go ahead and start finding a backup in case she pulls some kind of stunt closer to the day to get you to cave. If she didn't learn after the appalling way he treated her when pregnant, she's not going to learn when he treats Op like garbage. She isn't too deep to see the woods for the trees. I feel sorry for her, but Op can't do anything to help her until she realizes herself that she is in a toxic relationship and wants to get out. When someone is in an abusive relationship, they can't see the forest for the trees. They have an excuse for every terrible thing he does, including, but not limited to, he had a terrible childhood, I shouldn't have made him mad, he's just an emotional person, you don't see how loving he can be sometimes, etc. etc. Op, you can't make her see reason by being logical because, for her, this is an emotional issue, not a logical one. If you say, he's clearly abusing you, he treats you terribly, you need to leave him, she's going to tell him you said this, and he's going to use it to drive her away from you. He'll say, see, I told you she has it out for me. She wants to break us up because she's jealous of me. Why are you listening to her? She's such a terrible friend. The only thing you can do as a friend is ask questions. Ask questions that force her to basically run out of excuses. He was abused as a child? Do you think he's reacting to that abuse by copying his abuser's behavior? Does him becoming abusive make the abuse he encountered go away? Does him continuing the cycle make anything better, etc. etc. And most importantly, what would you tell me to do if I told you my partner was treating me this way? As hard as it might be, tell her that her boyfriend isn't invited and that you love her and will continue to love her no matter what, but she can't bring him. Hopefully, she'll start questioning this relationship altogether. I really wish there was a subtle way you could give her the book Why Does He Do That? So she can recognize all the signs of an abusive relationship. Not the a-hole. It's your wedding, and you should not have such a toxic person at your wedding. Stand your ground, and let your maid of honor decide whether or not she can attend. I'm very worried for your friend, though. Maybe take this as a chance to have a serious sit down with your friend and express your very serious concerns with her relationship. Explaining why her boyfriend is not welcome at your wedding can be a starting point for discussing why her boyfriend should not be welcome in her life. Not the a-hole. And holy crap, Op, please have your friend read this thread. Her boyfriend is an abusive control freak, and she needs to kick him to the curb and run, not walk away. Unfortunately, if she's too far in his web of lies, she won't understand unless something happens, like you predict he'll be awful at your wedding, and then he is, which isn't something you should allow. Hey, Op'(s) friend, it's not your fault, and it doesn't make you a bad judge of character or stupid or anything like that. Just try to consider, this guy has been utterly awful to you and your friends, and you deserve someone who is caring and thoughtful instead. I hope you can come to understand that you aren't obligated to have people like this in your life. Life's too short, and you're too wonderful to let this continue as is. Op, good luck, but under no circumstances should you feel obligated to host someone like this at your wedding, of all days. Now, first of all, miscarriages are nothing to do with stress. That's just patriarchal crap to make women feel bad about what is usually completely uncontrollable biologically normal process of embryos not developing in a way that's compatible with life, often due to chromosomal abnormalities. You so shouldn't invite someone who makes you uncomfortable to your wedding. That said, I do think your friend is in an abusive or at least extremely toxic relationship, so while I think you should stick to your guns, I would say be gentle about it. I completely understand if you don't feel you can attend without X. I'm not willing to have X at my wedding due to past behavior and attitude, and if that means you can't be my maid of honor, I will be very sad, but I will understand. It won't change how close we are. I will always be here for you. Also, I would encourage your friend to think about the fact they feel unable to even attend events with old friends without their so. Maybe find some resources for victims of abuse related to your location. I could link some, but they are all UK based, so probably not helpful, and generally chat to them about how they can always come to you, even if it's been a while. Sadly, abuse victims have to want to / be ready to leave. All you can do is be a safe, non-judgmental space when that happens. You're spreading misinformation. There is no absolute one-to-one relation between miscarriage and stress, but numerous studies have found correlations. To claim firmly one way or the other is to deny science based on ideology, which isn't shocking considering you called it patriarchal crap. The risk of miscarriage was significantly higher in women with a history of exposure to psychological stress. These findings remained after controlling for study type, exposure types of controls included. We found no evidence that publication bias or study heterogeneity significantly influenced the results. Our finding provides the most robust evidence to date that prior psychological stress is harmful to women in early pregnancy. I gave a side-eye the blame for the miscarriage, but I don't think that's the main point. He left his pregnant girlfriend, argued with her relentlessly, berated people that helped her, and then went back to being a dick to Op and maid of honor. Not the a-hole, and at the end of the day, it's your wedding. Invite who you want and ignore who you think will make your day less special, let alone potentially ruin it. Can you get out of here with this lying arrest BS? Stress absolutely causes a miscarriage as it affects almost everybody's system in some way, which changes how your body is able to support the baby. Your disregard for stress and how it affects women's health is truly disgusting and shows just how much of a fake feminist you are when you claim that it's patriarchal standards that has caused people to talk about it when stress affecting pregnancy is actually one of the least talked about issues. Get the duck out of here. I wanted to address what you said after the first paragraph, because that was not the most interesting or important part of your post. I think your way of communicating to Op's maid of honor is spot on. The big issue here is that maid of honor is likely to feel trapped between a rock and a hard place. She knows good and well that there will be consequences for attending the wedding her boyfriend isn't welcome at, until she is ready to accept that she isn't responsible for his feelings. She is unlikely to attend without him. Frankly, in the unlikely event she does attend without him, her abusive partner is likely to crash it and try to drag her out. Whether he's invited or not, he is likely to cause problems regardless. Op is not the a-hole for banning him because he's been really awful to her and her maid of honor, but if maid of honor is still involved with him when the wedding day arrives, he's the ability to enjoy my wedding day. This leaves two options for Opus. Try to get maid of honor to ditch the creep in a way where maid of honor doesn't feel like she's picking sides, she's picking herself. Designate a new maid of honor before the big day and allow her friend to gracefully bow out of the maid of honor role so she can decide how to proceed with her decision to attend without him without the added guilt of leaving Op without a maid of honor. There's literally no good solution if maid of honor is still with this dude and still expected to fulfill the maid of honor role without him there. It's unfair of Op to make her friend choose between them in an attempt to extract her from the toxic relationship. But if Op gives her an out of the maid of honor role while still letting her know she is welcome as a guest, maid of honor might realize how much she's giving up to maintain the toxic relationship. It's the difference between leading a horse to water and trying to get the horse to drink from a fire hose. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Also like the video if you enjoy it.